together with colleagues from Valdivia and others from here, from Santiago, we're asking where CO2 goes during a drought. And for that, we have a pretty nice toy that is the land equivalent to your pulsar buoy on the sea. So we can, if we have an ecosystem, a forest, we can make two boxes. One box, the atmosphere, and other box, the ecosystem. And this toy that is mounted there at 36 meters above the ground measures all the CO2 that goes up and comes down. CO2 goes up when plants die and respire, and comes down when there is photosynthesis. So that's the movement of the molecules of CO2. And for that, here in the south of Chile, south of Temuco, we had a drought, this is soil moisture, less moisture down and more moisture up, and this is just for January, February, March, and the average. And for 2015, we have here a historical low. This is a model, but it gives us a good idea of how severe was the drought. And here is 2016, so I will show you something on what happened in these 2 years. So there was a lot of tree mortality. You see the whitish colors there are tree mortality branches. And there were places where are always wet, like peat bogs and swamps. They were dried out. And so what we see here is that we compare 18 days, 2.5 weeks of measurement in 2015, while the drought was going on in red. Here, this is the CO2, the cumulative, and in black is the next year, 2016, the less dry year. So negative here in this plot, here is soil moisture. So red is 2015, you see the drought there, moisture is going down, and 2016 not too much. And then on top is the CO2 accumulated in those 2.5 weeks. Positive means it's a sequestration of CO2 to the ecosystem, negative means it's a release. So during the drought, the ecosystem was releasing CO2, so it was dry. And the opposite happened in the next year. So why this matters? Because forests, according to the National CO2 Inventory, forests capture about half of the CO2 emissions of the country. So this new technology helps us to understand how the ecosystems are responding to drought, and why it's important, because it's a sink, and we want to know how vulnerable or resilient is this sink to the future projections that the really will drive. So in total, in these 2.5 weeks, the emission of the forest, 1 hectare of forest, will emit CO2 equivalent to 141 liters of gasoline, more or less. Just 1 hectare in those 2.5 weeks. And that's it.